Ever reshuffle, a reaction to Labour's dreadful showing in England's local elections. 2/3 of the cabinet have now changed jobs. The Prime Minister makes it clear he's staying in his. But how long will the party let him? Also tonight, Prescott's perks. The Deputy Prime Minister is stripped of his powers, but not of his homes or his car. The BNP says it's on the way up. We investigate whether a far-right party can really represent everyone. And in sport, y'all. Good evening. At the close of the politically bloodiest 24 hours of Tony Blair's premiership, a day of political carnage whose full consequences are, as we speak here in Downing Street tonight, still being played out. Hot on the heels of Labour's disastrous local election losses, Mr Blair produced a cabinet reshuffle of ruthless savagery. Charles Clarke sacked as Home Secretary. John Prescott stripped of his departments, though he survives as Deputy Prime Minister, while Margaret Beckett has become the first ever female Foreign Secretary. And with Blairites promoted to key positions, the clear message is that the Prime Minister does not intend to go just yet. But it could get bloodier still. A draft letter said to be circulating among backbenchers tonight calls for him to name his departure date. Our political editor, Tom Bradby, reports.
It was certainly a bold reshuffle, but the question tonight is whether it was decisive or merely desperate. We are in for a period of feverish speculation because some normally loyal backbenchers have begun to crawl out of the woodwork with the message that enough is enough.
The first cabinet meeting, you would look for the new Secretaries of State and the ones that have been moved around the Titanic to ask when he's going to announce the date, because that's all you hear on the doorstep all the time, and it's frustrating for core Labour voters and for those that are in the middle, you know, who perhaps didn't vote for us or didn't come out to vote for us this time. We just need to know, when the transfer is going to happen.
It was certainly a brutal game of musical chairs. Home Secretary Charles Clarke went out. The foreign prisoner scandal did for him in the end. John Reid took over. In spite of all the damaging headlines, John Prescott managed to hold on to his position as Deputy Prime Minister and Deputy Leader of the party, but lost all his departmental responsibilities. Jack Straw was booted out of the Foreign Office, much to his shock and disappointment. His job went to Margaret Beckett. And in came a host of Blairites. Hazel Blears as party chair, David Miliband, Jackie Smith, plus the Brownite Douglas Alexander at Transport, who may feel a little lonely. Prescott keeps his salary and Grace and Favour flat in London and country estate and official car, but gets rid of nearly all of his responsibilities. Nice work if you can get it. Only 2 days ago, Charles Clarke was definitely staying at the Home Office. He's the man to sort it out, we were told. And then he was sacked.
The Prime Minister, as is his right and responsibility, has made the judgment that my continued occupation of the post of Home Secretary is likely to stand in the way of the continued reforms which may remain necessary. And though I do not agree with that judgment, I entirely accept his right to make it.
Jack Straw's demotion has mystified people. What did he do wrong? Was he getting too close to Brown? All in all, this is certainly not the reshuffle of a Prime Minister who plans to go anywhere soon.
It's pretty desperate stuff. I mean, I was pressing the Prime Minister more than a week ago to remove Charles Clarke, and he said, no, never, and now he's had to do it. So it's humiliating for the Prime Minister to have to make this climb down. But what the country needs is not a reshuffle, but a replacement to the government.
So what did Brown make of it all? Well, this morning, it didn't take a genius to work out what he was thinking.
Just as the Labour Party renewed itself in 1997 to deal with the challenges of this decade, so too we have now got to renew ourselves as a party to deal with the challenges ahead.
Renew, renew, renew. What can he mean? So will the rebels now act? Will Brown join them? When MPs come back here on Monday, the speculation will really begin. Tom Bradby, ITV News, Westminster.
So Charles Clarke did end up paying for the foreign prisoners scandal with his job, just days after insisting he'd stay to put things right. And even though he's promised to go on supporting the Prime Minister from the backbenches, he made it clear he didn't jump, he was pushed. John Ray reports now on Clarke's ignominious exit.
I do apologise, I have apologised, I continue to do so.
In the end, saying sorry couldn't save a politician whose judgment rarely let him down. The one-time student radical who went on to fight and win bitter battles as Neil Kinnock's Chief of Staff while Labour began to modernise. so he was well educated in the school of hard knocks. But with the spectre of freed foreign convicts, he came a cropper. A mess not of his making, so is the Home Office itself to blame.
Too much focus on knee-jerk initiatives, usually legislation, running around pursuing a populist political agenda and not caring enough about good administration. You have often a demoralised staff who are running around like headless chickens, trying not to upset the Home Secretary of the day.
Or is the place simply suffering from administrative overload? So many frontline functions like anti-terror, police, prisons, crime, asylum and much, much more besides. In this department, when things go wrong, they go very wrong indeed.
You could have, as we had, reducing crime, and you think this is an excellent thing and look how well we're doing, and the next day you get a massive prison escape. You know, you just never know what is lurking and what's going to come out of the woodwork.
So enter another hard man for more hard labour.
You fear you've been passed the poison chalice here? I'm just going to say a few words up.
John Reid, troubleshooter extraordinaire.
I, therefore, am aware of the onerous burden that has been placed upon me. I can only promise that I will do here what I have done in every other position in government, and that is to do my best.
Dr. Reid has famously quit drinking and cigarettes too. Now it's his new job that should come with the health warning. John Ray, ITV News.
Some might say that John Prescott leads a charmed life. First he became embroiled in a lurid sexual scandal, then today he was stripped of his departmental empire. But still he walked away from number 10 here grinning from ear to ear. As well he might. He's still got his cabinet post.